reason to run for a third term. Is there a thought that the Democrats could try to run Barack Obama against you?
I'd love that.
For his third term?
Boy, I'd love that. That would be a good one. I'd like that. No.
My question is, what is your opinion on the Federal Reserve, and do you have any intentions of doing anything with them?
And the Fed. Yeah. I don't know. I always wanted to say that, I
agree with what Larry Fink said just about the idea that the dollar could suffer as a result.
They wanted to.
Bitcoin. Yeah.
Yes, I mean, I'd say that Washington understands that too. That's why stablecoin, really getting the right sort of legislation for stablecoin is important, because in crypto, when it comes to stablecoins, the dollar is way more dominant there than it is in traditional markets. So I think you actually kind of protect the dollar with stablecoin legislation.
How about BRICS? You know, the BRICS states, there are like 6 of them, and they were trying to destroy our dollar. They were going to say, they wanted to create a new currency. They probably wanted to use the yuan. China, they wanted to use the yuan. And Biden said, well, this is a tough situation. There's not much we can do about that. We can't help that. I said, oh, we can help it. So when I came in, the first thing I said is any BRICS state that even mentions the destruction of the dollar will be charged a 150% tariff, and we don't want your goods, we don't want to partake. And the BRICS states just broke up. I don't know what the hell happened to them. We haven't heard from the BRICS states lately.
And I think we'll have a glimpse of what Fed Chair Powell's thinking, because he's speaking Friday after the jobs report. And I do think that it remains a more dovish Fed than many expect. I mean, I think that's what was revealed after the March FOMC meeting. And not that I'm saying it's going to put a reversal of markets here, but I think investors are a little too scared heading into winter.
This is tremendous. I mean, again, I'm a managing partner here at Pantera Capital. We're one of the earliest investors in the cryptocurrency space since 2013. We led the Series A in Amber in 2019 and are super excited about this monumental moment. Really do feel that this is a huge significant milestone, because up until now, companies have really avoided the U.S. market. 60% of our capital has actually gone to companies based outside the U.S., largely due to regulatory headwinds. And now that President Trump has really reversed a lot of the onerous policies and really given a path towards capital markets and tokenization, Amber is going to be the first of many companies looking to get listed, looking to come back to the United States, set up shop here, build innovative products, be able to decentralize, be able to tokenize, and do so in a very successful way. So Amber is really spearheading and being the first from Asia, but we really feel like from all over the world, folks are going to be coming back into the United States, whether they're starting their companies originally from the United States or whether they are coming up with their U.S. strategy. Since President Trump has come into power, the most demanded role is a head of U.S. Folks are really trying to figure out how to make U.S. A part of their strategy or even their core strategy of expansion.
Countdown to so-called Liberation Day, Wednesday, April 2nd, when a 25% tariff on autos and imports from any country that buys oil from Venezuela go into effect. We're also expecting announcements of reciprocal tariffs. Markets on edge as the date approaches. While the S&P and Dow both managed to post solid gains today, all three major indices are sharply lower so far this year. The S&P and Nasdaq both notching their worst first quarter since 2020. Uncertainty around the impact of tariffs on the economy weighing particularly hard on the consumer.
Welcome to the Crypto Teacher. And I come back with that video just to make you think.
Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel.
And make sure you join the Patrons. If you're not a part of the Patrons, make sure you're hitting the Cash App. And also, guys, make sure you go like and follow the TikTok. More videos to come. And we have Trump asked about running a third term. And unfortunately, guys, I have a strong feeling that he won't even finish his second term. And I'll do a Patreon video showing you why I feel that way. But we know Trump and Obama know all about the fourth industrial revolution. the movie Leaving the World Behind. And we see the Trump family moving these digital assets and this digital economy forward. And remember, the crypto teacher told you. And we have Elon Musk saying in the Fed. And guys, we know when it comes to blockchain, the Fed is going to be invisible. The masses have no clue anyway because they stay distracted on things that don't matter. But when blockchain comes, they really won't know who controls the money supply. And remember, the crypto teacher told you. And we have Tom Lee asked about Larry Fink's comments on the United States dollar losing its world reserve currency due to Bitcoin. And what does he bring up? That's right, stable coins. Stable coins will make the dollar stronger. And if you have the NWO book, I tell you, if it wasn't for cryptos, that's the only thing that's going to save this economy. Remember, they printed 80% of all money in existence in 2 years to destroy fiat in order to bring in this fourth industrial revolution. The rise of the machines. And the BRICS nations are going to lead the way along with China with that digital yuan backed by that digital SDR. And remember, the crypto teacher told you. And we had Tom Lee speak about the beat down that stocks took, but see stocks moving back up. And like I told you, I expected to move back up just because earnings season is back. But we do have Jerome in the house and then also jobs numbers this week. And it's just going to depend on how they swing the narrative when it comes to the job numbers. And we know Jerome Powell's just going to say he's data dependent. And remember, the crypto teacher told you. And we have Amber International went public on Friday. And guys will know how important liquidity is to these institutions. But the fact is, yes, they're doing a U.S. IPO, but the business is still overseas. Remember, the emerging markets lead this fourth industrial revolution. And remember, the crypto teacher told you. Now we have Trump on Liberation Day, April 2nd. Trump tariffs. And we know the narrative has been the stock market is pulling back because of tariffs, but we know that's definitely not true. But guys, make sure you go back in history. Remember, April 2nd, we had the Coinage Act, which made the United States dollar the nation's standard unit of currency. And then also, the United States declared war on Germany. And then, guys, we have Greenland going on right now. So we have these stable coins that are going to be replacing the United States dollar. And we know these stable coins are against the Constitution, but it's just going to be a layer over top of what we already have. And then plus, we know the drums are beaten in order to bring in that crisis, so therefore they can move us to this fourth industrial revolution. And remember, the crypto teacher told you. Now we have EV charging, the rapid technology that we know is already here. Now we got China with the flying taxis. And the only thing you have to do is go on social media. You can see all the technology. And we know behind the curtain is even more advanced. But the knowledge is right at your fingertips. Remember, my people perish from the lack of knowledge because they reject it. And there's a lot of things that can distract you right now. But like I always tell you, make sure you stay in the lab and get yourselves prepared. Because we can clearly see this fourth industrial revolution under Trump is moving fast forward. And remember, the crypto teacher told you. Because he knows. When it comes to the NWO, it's all planned out. You have a wonderful day.
Briefly on President Putin, you said over the weekend, or indicated over the weekend, some frustration with him. How serious are you about imposing oil sanctions?
No, I want to see him make a deal so that we stop Russian soldiers and Ukrainian soldiers and other people from being killed. But mostly it's Russian and Ukrainian soldiers. They're losing at least 2,500 human beings, beautiful human beings, a week, and I wanted to stop. And some people would say, why do you worry about Russian soldiers or Ukrainian soldiers? I worry because it's like they're just like you people. They're like us. They're like all of us. And I seem to have an ability to do those things. And if I can do that, I think it's a very worthwhile thing to do. And I think we will. No, I want to make sure that he follows through, and I think he will. I don't want to go secondary tariffs on his oil, but I think, it's something I would do if I thought he wasn't doing the job. I did it with Venezuela secondary tariffs, and you know what happened? Every boat left the harbor. Did you see that? It was a beautiful thing to see. The whole harbor emptied out. My words weren't even finished. They have these massive ships. They're actually taking the hoses and dumping them into there. They couldn't get out of there fast enough because they know I don't play games. So I think he's going to live up to what he told me, and I think he's going to fulfill his part of the deal. Now, then you have Zelensky, and hopefully he's going to live up. I see he's trying to renegotiate the rare earth. You know, we did something because, as you know, the Europeans get paid back the money that they gave, and we don't, because Biden is an incompetent president. And he should have asked for rare earth, or he should have asked for the loans to be guaranteed in some form. That's what Europe did. Europe is in for probably $100 billion. And we're in for $350 billion. So we're in for more than 3 times. And now you could make it a little bit less than that, but it doesn't matter. Whatever the number, we're in for substantially more than Europe. We could be in for $350 billion. They have no idea because Biden wasn't a good bookkeeper except for himself. And what happens is we made a deal for rare earth. It was all done. And I heard through you, I haven't spoken to them yet, but through you, I heard that they're now saying, well, I'll only do that deal if we get into NATO or something to that effect. Well, that was never, number one, discussed. Number two, I think it's going to be very long before Putin. They said you're not going into NATO. And it could be, that's probably the reason the war started, actually.
Would you say your relationship with Vladimir Putin is at its lowest point right now?
No, I don't think so. I don't think he's going to go back on his word. I was disappointed in a certain way. He considers Zelensky not credible. He's supposed to be making a deal with him, whether you like him or you don't like him. So I wasn't happy with that.
Is there a deadline for Russian President Vladimir Putin to agree to a ceasefire?
It's a psychological deadline. If I think they're tapping us along, I will not be happy about it.
President Trump did not rule out using military force to acquire Greenland from Denmark. State Department spokeswoman Tammy Bruce joins me now. Tammy, how far will Mr. Trump go to control Greenland?
Well, you know, this is not, and good morning, Stu, nice to see you. This is not about control. This is about the safety and security of Greenland. Certainly the president's concerned, as all of us are, as is Secretary of State Marco Rubio, concerned about the safety and security of the United States. And Greenland's position clearly indicates that they're in a strategic position that matters to the whole world, to say the least. And at the same time, I think we know that, as the president has said often, as the Secretary of State has noted, that Greenland, we care about Greenland's security.
Are you actually confident that the U.S. electric grid is up to snuff or can be brought up to snuff in the near to medium term?
Well, it can be brought up to snuff, but it requires a lot of investments to get there. And I think, once again, this technology really shows that there are many pieces that need to move forward. You know, another piece, too, is think about the vehicle to be able to accept this kind of charge. You have to operate on a platform that really is in its infancy. There's hardly any vehicles on the road today that would be able to accept this rate of charge. So that's a big investment from automobile manufacturers. So it's multifaceted, where you see many things have to occur to move past this early adopter phase into more of the mass market in the United States. So we believe it's coming. It will just take time. It's going to take a lot of investment, which is why we also believe that it's going to be a multi-fuel future, and consumers going to want to look at optionality.
Going to a different economy, and we're going to be learning more about that as we go. But clearly, we're learning that things can be done from remote locations. We're learning that technology can replace people even more than we thought.
We're not going back to the same economy. We're recovering, but to a different economy, and it'll be one that is more leveraged to technology. And I worry that that is going to make it even more difficult than it was for many workers.
In Silicon Valley, and my friends who work in technology know that what we did to the manufacturing workers, we are now going to do to the retail workers, the call center workers, the fast food workers, the truck drivers, and then even bookkeepers, accountants, insurance agents, lawyers, and on through the economy. So what happened to the manufacturing workers is a very clear sign.
And so we'll import Chinese-based CBDC technology. So it's going to be CBDC in a box
provided to you by the People's Bank of China.
But every stock, every bond, every currency, every commodity, every piece of art, every private business, every piece of real estate will eventually be a token on a blockchain, an entry on a ledger, permanent and immutable. We will have truth instead of trust, and we will save over $7 trillion a year. 6 to 8% of global GDP is wasted by the friction of the trust industry that's necessary when you have dual entry accounting. With triple entry accounting, which is what a blockchain is, we get rid of all of that friction. It's a beautiful future.
Like what you see in China and their social credit scoring systems, right? If we get identity wrong, it could be a tool to enslave humanity. And if we get it right, it could be a tool to liberate humanity. And as an American, I'm obviously rooting for the one that's on the side of freedom.
Bitcoin is an international asset. And also, I do believe the role of crypto is it's digitizing gold.
I actually believe this technology is going to be very important. Look at it. We have been part of the huge revolution in investing through ETFs. We believe that ETFs will be changing the whole way we invest. Many people still use it as a means, people are investing it for indexing. No, the majority of people who are putting money in in ETFs are active investors that are buying exposure. The entire bond market is being transformed as we talk right now. I believe the next generation for markets, the next generation for securities will be tokenization of securities. And if we can have that distributed ledger that we know every beneficial owner, every beneficial seller, we all have our code of who's buying, who's selling, instantaneous settlement. And think about it, it changes the whole ecosystem.
Chinese bank ICBC has been hit by a ransomware attack, and the U.S. Treasury market, as a result of that, has been disrupted. This, according to the Financial Times. We're getting at more right now with Bloomberg's Shonali Bassick. Shonali, what do we know?
Listen, we have the Financial Times now reporting that ICBC, one of China's largest banks here, was hit with a ransomware attack. And remember, they're a very significant intermediary in the Treasury market. The SIFMA has told its members that this has been part of the reason here that the system is kind of clogged up, if you will, during that auction that we saw a little bit before. The attack had prevented ICBC, according to the Financial Times, from settling Treasury trades on behalf of other market participants. A large executive at a major bank also telling the paper that such a large party on the fixed income clearing corp creates major concerns, potentially impacting the liquidity of Treasury markets. Now,
it was not just a poor auction. It was absolutely lousy, and when the dealers have to step in to save a treasury auction, that's a rare occurrence.
Cryptoteacher and the New World Order book, plus the 3 Kids books. It's time to re-educate. Also, new to cryptos, Coinbase, Bitrue, Binance. Do not forget book links and crypto links are in the description. The stock channel, guys. Don't forget to go like, subscribe, spread everywhere. You have your Kobo, your chip stocks, your banking, your gaming. While everybody's sitting at home, get on stocks, the Seaver, the biotech stocks. And while everybody's at home wishing, they were still getting that free money. What are they doing? Drinking and smoking weed. Don't forget about those stocks, and you have a wonderful day. The most powerful person in the world is the storyteller. The storyteller sets the vision, values, and agenda of an entire generation to come. Steve Jobs. And guys, I truly believe in this. When you look at the New World Order, they're the storytellers. And that's the reason why I wrote my New World Order book. But guys, now it's time to change the current generation. And I wrote 3 kids books. I love the Trinity because I understand the power that's in it. So I have 3 books. We have an opportunity to change the generation, to educate, not just me, but I want to show you that I take action on a daily basis. And I want you to take action on a daily basis. Whether it's your job, whether it's in your community, we have an opportunity right now to educate the masses. I posted this on my Twitter account. Please share, but this is a short clip of the 3 books. There's going to be a clothing line and action figures. Please get these books for your kids, nephews, cousins, friends. So therefore, we can start the re-education now. Because as we see, the fourth industrial revolution foundation is definitely here. Robots, algorithms, drones, taking humanity out the picture. We have to re-educate. But let's get into the video.
Part 1. King Joshua and Grandma Tam save the village. Part 2. King Joshua and Grandma Tam save New York from COVID-33. Part 3. King Joshua and Grandma Tam goes to China.
It's mandatory to get part 1, part 2, and part 3 of this series. It's time to re-educate Generation Z.